The best way to sell your house. Hi, this is Bob Morrow from emailhomes.ca, talking to sellers today about the best way to sell your house. Now, I'm a real estate agent, so the first thing you need to do is say, hey, this guy's just going to be biased. Well, I'll surprise you. The best way to sell your house today is privately, and here's how you do it. You need to have a sign on the lawn. You need to advertise in the local paper. You need to put it on a website that's seen by at least a few thousand people, and you need to be on the MLS. The latter thing, the MLS, is vital. Without being on the MLS, you're doing what every other private company and private seller does, is you're hoping that somebody will drive by and see your house, take the time to come and ask you how much it costs and have a look around and to make you an offer. Or they're going to go on a website. In Hamilton, there's at least 12 of them now, different private sale companies. So you're hoping that they'll see that one listing on one of those sites and come and see your house. None of that works most of the time. The way it does work is on the MLS, because organized real estate, that's real estate agents, anybody, the public to go onto the MLS system, whatever. Organized real estate makes sure that your house is instantly seen overnight when it's on the MLS. But how do you get on there? You need a real estate agent to get on the MLS, that's the law. However, there are some private companies out there that will put you on the MLS through an association they have with a real estate company for a fee, usually around $500 to $1,000. They'll put you on the MLS. Now that sounds like a lot of money, but it is critical to be on the MLS because the world will see your houses for sale. Once you're on the MLS, now the public is seeing it, but more importantly is all the agents in the area are seeing that listing right away. You say, well, I don't want to pay an agent. Well, let's think about that for a minute. Mr. Agent here has been cultivating these buyers, and they've been looking at houses for a couple of months. He's been spending time with them. He's got them pre-approved, so there's no financing issues. He's explained to them all the different types of houses so that now they're educated buyers. They're not going to look and nickel and dime you. They're not going to look for silly little things to fix because the agent has cultivated them, and that's taken them a couple of months. But they haven't found the house they like yet. Suddenly he sees your house. And he calls up Mr. Buyer and says, hey, I think I found the perfect house. And he brings that buyer to you. They love the house and they make an offer. You say to me, why should I pay the agent? Because the agent has been working to get that buyer ready to buy your house. The person you don't need to pay is me, because I'm listing your house, or the private company, whoever you used to get on the MLS. All you did was pay to get on the MLS. You didn't want any other services. So the most that should cost is about $1,000. Some will even do it cheaper than that. The most important part about what we're talking about here is paying the buyer's agent to bring that buyer to you. And what that person expects is 2 to 2.5% of the sale of your home. On a $200,000 home, that's about $4,500. Now, if you think that's too much money, step back for a minute. If you sell your house without this guy, you have to do all the cultivating of the buyers. How do you do that when you're not an agent? Well, you have to put ads in the paper to attract people to come to your house. You have to put it on as many websites as you possibly can. That usually costs a few bucks and adds up. Plus the time it takes to cultivate all these people, because you're going to have to get as many people through your house as possible in order to find that one person that's ready to buy. Of course, then you're going to have to make sure that person's financed properly, that person is not going to nickel and dime you to death, that person is not going to pick on things in your house and try and bring the price down. You've got the agent stopping all that from happening because that's their job. So for $4,500, you have a no headache sale of your house privately. What are you saving? Well, you're saving on the listing side, which is another 2 to 2.5%. This is why when you're asking agencies what does it cost to sell a house, you're hearing the 5 and 6% mark. That's because 2 agents get paid. When you sell privately, I'm suggesting that you only pay the 1 agent. You get on the MLS any way you can, either through an agent or through a private company, pay whatever it takes. But you're only going to pay the buyer's agent when your house sells, only then. For more tips like this, or if you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, feel free to email me at robert@emailhomes.ca. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions, free of charge, of course, and no obligation whatsoever. You can text me too, if you like, at 536-4644. This is not a complicated issue, but it is a great way for you to save money without disinheriting the most important group of people who will likely bring in a buyer for your home.